second edition of the Tax Matrix Victoria Falls Annual Tax Conference was indeed a resounding success. Delegates touched down at the Vic Falls Airport and were driven to the majestic Elephant Hills Hotel, where they checked in before having a quick lunch and attending the first session of the conference. The Managing Director of Tax Matrix, Mr. Marvelous Tapera, welcomed delegates to the conference. During these sessions, taxpayers managed to air their grievances, which were addressed and noted by ZIMRA. Tax legislation was debated and recommendations were put forward. Tax experts from Southern Africa managed to make their presentations and answer questions from delegates. It really was business unusual, as delegates managed to participate in various leisure activities such as a sunset boat cruise.
Victoria Falls Tax Conference 2018, and as you can see, everyone is enjoying themselves. They're socially networking and interacting, which is a good thing for business people, because sometimes they like this time to enjoy themselves as well as learn at the same time.
Delegates also managed to be entertained at the Boma, where they mingled with tourists from all over the world in dance, food and music. Topics covered at the conference include the current fiscal policy and its impact on investment and growth, the current tax system, complex tax laws and regulations, special economic zones, aspects of transfer pricing, cross-border and double taxation issues. Conference attendees also managed to get an opportunity to discuss the common pitfalls in managing tax disputes, judicial reviews, burden of proof in tax obligations, burden of proof in tax objections and appeals, and the solutions to these thereof.
We're still here at the Victoria Falls Tax Conference 2018, and standing with me here is Miss Christina Muzerengi, who was presenting on the tax developments which were implemented by the Finance Minister this year. Miss Christina, I heard you talking about the tax amnesty. From the responses that you got from the crowd, do you think they really understand what the tax amnesty is all about?
From the responses that I got from the crowd, it looks like they do have an appreciation of what the tax amnesty is all about, because you could actually tell from the questions that they were asking. To say, for example, the one on the fact that if somebody has already paid their principal amount in full before 1 December 2017, do they still qualify for the amnesty on the principal, on the interest and the penalties? So there is quite a high level of appreciation of what the tax amnesty is all about.
So from the ZIMRA responses, do you think there is action that might be taken? I had people saying we're shooting at the wrong guys. Do you think the Finance Minister is going to do something?
Unfortunately, ZIMRA is just an implementer of the policies that would have been put in place by the government. So to really expect action from ZIMRA is expecting too much. Maybe what you can only expect from them is that the word does get to the minister for at least a policy change.
Here with me is Miss Judith, who is a tax consultant at Deloitte & Touch. And I'm going to ask you, Miss Judith, how are you enjoying the conference?
I'm enjoying it. It's a good conference, and I'm learning a lot of things. And it's like the panelists are very active and straight to the points. Yes.
So do you think all your questions are being answered, or it's just a matter of enjoying the presentations and all that?
Yeah, most of them are being answered, especially the last one which we did on transfer pricing. Yes, I think the presenter is very good, and they've got vast experience in South Africa, so we are learning a lot from them.
Standing with With me here is Mr. Keith Angel from the SAIT in South Africa. Okay, Mr. Keith, how do you think the people were understanding your presentation?
I was very impressed. Whenever I come to Zimbabwe, I'm always impressed. You've got a lot of good skill and you've got a lot of good education. So no, I think they understood it. I think we got to the essence of it quickly, which was on transfer pricing for cross-border services. So I thought people were practical very quickly. They understood quickly. But yes, transfer pricing is a complicated subject, and it probably requires a week or two on its own. But we got a good taste, and that's all we want. It was like a piece of candy. They had a taste. Now hopefully they'll come back for more.
Okay. I heard you commenting much on our tax legislation.
Yeah.
Would you say we have so many loopholes, or maybe it's just one or two things that need to be corrected by our revenue authority or the finance minister? I don't know.
I think your legislation is pretty good overall. Your biggest problem is some legislation is inconsistent. So you've got big incentives the one day, big beatings the next for business. So you love business one day, the next day you hate business. You've got to have a more rational, calm legislation that doesn't go too far one way or the other. Your biggest issue is you need a lot of training, and the ZIMRA needs a lot of support, and a lot of taxpayers need support on how to apply it.
With me here is Commissioner Jaure from the ZIMRA. How are you, Mr. Jaure?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent.
I heard you giving a speech to the taxpayers around here. I'm sure all of these people around here are the clients of the ZIMRA. Generally, what can you say about them? Are they understanding the law, or?
Well, generally, what I can say about them is they are a mixed bag. Some are understanding the law and complying. Some need to up their game in terms of complying, whether it's in terms of submitting their returns or it's in terms of paying their obligations. So we are coming out to meet them here so that we encourage them to do the right thing. Those who need to be educated so that they know their obligations, then they meet them for the good of the country.
Okay, so what can you say about this tax conference? What do you think about it? Should it be an annual thing? Can it help you in any way?
The tax conference, this tax indaba, is an excellent platform to communicate with the taxpayers, to hear their concerns, to tell them what they need to know. Like greater part of the speech I was delivering to them were highlights from the minister's budget statement, encouraging them to take advantage of the amnesty so that they put their companies in good stead, but at the same time encouraging to pay their obligations so that we build this country from mobilizing domestic resources.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jaure, or should I say Commissioner Jaure, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Companies and organizations that sent delegates to the conference include Harare Municipality Medical Aid Society, Wange Colliery, Mimosa, MMCZ, NEC for the agricultural industry, NEC for the motor industry, Nyaradzo, Padenga Holdings, Panarob, Potras, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, Standards Association of Zimbabwe, Tanganda, SRTC, Tel1, THI, Trinity Consulting, Varichem Limited, Wilderness Safaris, ZACH, the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, ZCDCO, the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company, Zimplants, Zimra, Zinwa, Zoll, BDO, CMA, DMH, Grant Thornton, Marion Hill, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and many more.
The curtain has come down for our Victoria Falls Tax Conference 2018. A lot of information was shared, interaction was made, and everyone had a lot of fun at the boat cruise, Boma, and a lot of activities took place here at the tax conference. We are hoping to see you again in 2019.